Hey everybody, welcome to my painting tutorial. Today I'm going to show you how to paint the, jet plumes off of Boba Fett's jetpack. The Boba Fett model itself is for Star Wars Legion. The jetpack plumes are 3D printed. I use mostly GW paints for this. If you're building up from black, like I did, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to start with a layer of dark gray, and then build up to a slightly lighter gray, and then a slightly lighter gray again, and then an even lighter gray than that to about a close to white off-white gray. So the next thing I did is I wanted to get into the crevices, so I just took the Apothecary White Contrast Paint by GW, and I just did a whole coat of that. Contrast is like a thick wash, so it seeped into the crevices really nicely, and it created a really good contrast, I guess, for lack of a better word, but it created a good effect of the like the emulsion of the smoke. Once the contrast is dry, I went back to the tops of the smoke and I went back over those in the gray again to keep, lighting and to create a really good sort of like gradient effect. And then once I went back over and did all of those in gray, I went back to the tips of all of those points and did them in white. Doing that gradient shading like that will create a really nice effect, and it'll really draw the eye across the whole of the detail. The thing to remember when painting fire is that it's brightest at the ignition point and gets darker further out. So where the very base of the fire touches the jetpack, you're going to want to just make that white. Then underneath that, you're going to want to do like a layer of yellow with the white still showing. Then you're going to want to do a layer of orange underneath that yellow, so that it goes white to yellow to orange, and then red at the very tip of the fire. I don't think I recorded myself doing it, but I also took a red wash and I washed underneath the little flares on the fire to sort of create a visual distinction between where the flare begins and it underneath, to sort of like make it pop for the eye at the table level. Now, finally, the last thing to do is to blend the fire with the smoke. Now, I can't actually do that because I'm not that good of a painter. However, what I do instead when I can't blend something is I just create negative space. So I took like really dark chaos black and I just lined between the fire and the smoke. That way they're visually separate when you look at them, and your mind sort of recognizes them as two separate objects. And that'll go a long way to really like making the model like a real clean cut looking thing, if you didn't want to take the time to blend where two sections of a model meet. Anyway, I hope you found this tutorial helpful. I paint from time to time, and I do a lot of commission work. This piece itself was a commission. I kind of want to just help people. I get a lot of questions about how I do certain techniques or whatever, and I figure one of the best ways to do it would be just to document what I do. So more content to come. If you like this video, please subscribe, and I'll see you next time.